Jesus says, I've come to give you life, and life so abundant you can't even begin. Dream stealers. The assignment in the class was to build your dream whatever. Build your dream. So you had to put it on paper, diagram it out, etch it out, sketch it out, make sure all the figures aligned. Good stuff, good work, without the aid of a computer-generated program. John went to work. He grew up on a farm, and he loved horses, and he said, this is going to be a really fun assignment because I am going to design one of the best horse stables ever. And he went to work. And he got information from his father. He talked to other ranchers. He talked to builders in town, and he began to develop for this class project one beautiful piece of work. And when the time came for him to turn it in, he was in a portfolio, and it looked good. All his work. Teachers collected them. John thought even his folder was better than everybody else's. A couple of weeks later, he got it back, opened the folder, red ink everywhere. Basically telling him, John, you're dreaming. This is not practical. It's not doable. It's way too expensive. You could never even conceive of this. Do it again. F. Devastated, took it home, showed his father. Father was devastated. Well, son, what are you going to do? So I'm going to sleep on it, but I'll know in the morning. John took it to prayer, woke up in the morning. Dad asked him at breakfast, John, what are you going to do? Are you going to redo it? He said, yes, I'm going to redo it. And I'm going to make it even bigger and better. The teacher's already told you got an F. Wait till he sees the redone one. Just wait. Kid went back to work, added stuff to it, spruced it up, turned it back in. Believe it or not, the teacher handed him that report back and says, what are you thinking? This is even more elaborate than the original. You did not understand my instructions. F. John read that in front of the teacher as he got that report back. And John simply, with respect, said, Sir, you can give me an F. You can record an F in the record book. But I choose to keep my dream. Yeah. Let it go, John. Don't let somebody steal your dream. Did you see the text? Did you listen tonight? What did it say? You told me this worked. In the last days, when? When are the last days? Yeah, I want to pause here for just a second. Because the truth is, we've been working on this for 3 or 4 years. I didn't think I'd live long enough to see the year 2010. Matter of fact, I sat in the chapel just next door and heard stories from well-intentioned preachers and teachers and men I trusted and women I believed also, that we would never live this long. Jesus was coming. Don't worry about finishing your education. Don't worry about a life partner. Don't worry that you'll have 2.3 children. It's not going to happen. Jesus is coming again. So you better get what? Huh? You better what? You pay her tuition is what she said. No, you better get ready. You better get ready. You're not going to live. And I believe them. You know what I believe about it today? I believe Jesus is coming back. But I cannot tell you when. Doesn't make me a bad person. Pastor Don doesn't know when. Pastor Greg doesn't know when. The angels in heaven don't know when. Whoa! You ready? Jesus doesn't know when. Only God the Father. But I believe Jesus when he said, I will return. I'll take you where I am. I believe that more today than I ever have. I can't tell you when he's coming. In the last days, God says, I will pour out my Spirit on who? All people. That's comforting. Not just old people, not just young people, not just rich people, not just poor people. I'm going to pour my Spirit. It's available to who? Oh, everybody. Your sons and your daughters will prophesy. That's you. You're going to prophesy. You're going to tell about things that are going to happen. You're going to reveal truths that might be hidden to the common people about God. Your young men will see visions. Your old men are going to dream dreams. But we're all going to do it together. In the last days. I don't know when those are. But it would be wrong for me to tell you that this is the last day, because I don't know. Things sure don't seem very good out in the world. But they didn't seem good 30 years ago either. I mean, we had the music of the Beatles. And that music was taking us straight down. And the people that preached against the Beatles are now standing in front of you and say, we want them back. Just bring them back. The Beatle music is in the elevators and in the shopping markets and in the malls. Today's music, don't get me started. We were at war 30 years ago. With a war that was to end all wars. Fighting was totally different. We didn't just line up like we did in the Civil War and shoot at people as they came at you, but this was hidden warfare and secret traps and booby traps and weapons that... And we're still at war. And there was economic crisis. I was in a school just not too far from here. And there was electricity crisis. We had to turn the lights out at night. The campus went dark. It went dark in the hallways of the dormitory. There was no electricity for food at supper time, so we had cold meals on plastic ware. Because the end of time, the last days were right now. We lined up for gasoline. And you could get 10 gallons at a time. And if the station ran out, it didn't matter if you'd waited 2 or 3 hours. That was it. What was going to happen to our world? I believed it was the last days. I left school and went to go door to door in countries that didn't have, in counties that didn't have Adventist churches. In South Georgia and North Georgia. And we traveled around because the end. And now 30 years later, what? We're 30 years closer to Jesus coming. You guys are going to dream dreams and prophesy. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens. Why do most people take a business degree? Oh, I thought I heard it over here. To make what? Not just money. Big money, mega money. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? And don't get me wrong, I love my business people. We need them because I'm not. Okay? I buy high and sell low. People say money talks. Yeah, mine's always saying goodbye. You know what I mean? We need business people. There's a business class at Eastern College in Philadelphia taught by Tony Campolo. Brings all these business guys in. And they have to take this class at this Christian college. I love it. And it's Principles of Business. That's what it's called. Christian Principles of Business. Ooh. Is that a little different, maybe? You think that might have a little different class content? He brings these guys in, and they talk about business for the first little bit. And then he says, okay, you guys have all the knowledge. You girls understand these business principles. Here's what we're going to do. I want to know how you're going to relieve the pain and suffering of poor people in this world. Oh, that's easy. Do what? Come on, business people, give them money or give them jobs. Income, sure, that's the same thing. Give them jobs. Okay, how are you going to do that? Well, we'll go, we can, well, they work on that a little bit. They come up with good textbook answers. So he takes those textbook answers and says, okay, you know that we do a field trip in this class. This story happened before the big earthquake in Haiti last year. So they would go to the country of Haiti, underdeveloped, poor nation, some natural resources, but they haven't been able to quite gather them in. The government, well, we won't talk about that. They go to Haiti. Watch what happens. Immediately, they are thrust into an environment where people don't have food. People don't have places to sleep, so they're on the streets. Where people can't provide for their families. Disease, sickness, and they live among that for a couple days. Now they're a bit discouraged. And this wise teacher gathers them every day. What did you learn? What can we do different? How can you apply your business principles to help relieve the pain and suffering of poor people? Oh, I don't know. So they take a little tour around the city, out to a school, and out into some of the surrounding area in Haiti. Things are growing in the fields in Haiti. Do you know what's growing there? Sugar. Does sugar feed hungry people? Not really. It's not really a good what? Good diet to have just sugar. So it really doesn't feed hunger. And they also notice that on all the beautiful countryside land, what else was there? Cows. Have you heard this story before? Who said that? No. Well, good. Cattle growing, eating all the grass. Inside the van, one of the guys says, whoa. Now, there's maybe some income or jobs available. Look at all the cows. Yeah, wow. Who owns those cows? Oh. They went back and began to do a little work. Guess what they found out? Not only did great big U.S. corporations own the land, they also owned the cattle. Because it's cheaper, watch this, to grow cattle in Haiti, kill the cows, and ship the meat where? Right back here, than it is, boy, this thing's alive, than it is to grow and raise our cattle here on our own land. Interesting. So to make money for the corporation, we do what? Buy land or rent it or whatever we do. Raise the cattle there, ship it over. Oh, you think we did the same thing with the sugar? Yeah, most of that sugar was coming where? Back to the U.S. These guys say, whoa, wait a minute. That ain't right. Kind of like you said in your bulletin, Sabbath. That ain't right. And my mama didn't say I wasn't right. My mama wants to talk to you when we're done this week. Okay? The guys say, hey, that ain't right. And so they all said, well, what can we do about that? Well, probably nothing. That's a pretty big problem. But boy, if these people had their land back, they could grow food crops that would feed them. Maybe corn, wheat, some other staples, so they could feed themselves other than sugar and beef. And the beef wasn't even staying there. It was coming to the U.S. Well, they got back to the States, and they found out that a large corporation by the name of Gulf and Western owned most of that land in Haiti and most of the sugar crop. Now, Gulf and Western is not even a company today. They've been bought up and divided out, but a few years ago they were pretty big, and they were very diversified. You might have even sat and watched a movie that came up and said Gulf and Western. You'll see it on some old videos, Gulf and Western. Well, they had food, but they were a very profitable company. So these guys are in class. Your young men will what? Prophesy, dream visions. And so the teacher prodded them. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? How are you going to make a difference in Haiti? One of the kids says, "No, you know what we could do?" Real casually he says, "Why don't we buy stock in Gulf and Western?" Why? Let's just buy stock in it. Then we'll be stockholders, and I think stockholders get to go to the annual meeting. All right, like we can buy enough stock to have influence in Gulf and Western, this mega million corporation. Well, wait a minute. All we have to do is buy what? One share of stock at $43.52. And we get to go to the stockholders meeting? Yeah. Kid says, "I'll buy one." Another kid says, "I'll buy one." Hey, let's have 3. And 3 of us will go to the stockholders meeting. And now Campolo, the teacher's going, "Yeah, I like how you're thinking. What are you going to do at the stockholders meeting?" "Oh, well, we'll just go and see. We'll make a speech." "You what?" Now Campolo's going, "No, you probably won't want to do that." But no, we'll make a speech at the stockholders meeting. They bought stock in Gulf Western. These 3 guys from the business class got their invitation to go to the stockholders meeting in Chicago, Illinois. Are you liking this so far? Dream dreams, dream visions. How are you going to make a difference with your business principles? Not just to build yourself up, not just to make yourself millions, but to help relieve the pain and suffering of poor people in this world, which, by the way, is what Jesus said we ought to be doing. They went to the stockholders meeting. Glowing reports. People there all decked out, expensive suits. These guys wore a shirt and tie. Want to look presentable. Had a big lunch. In the afternoon, there's an item in the program, open floor, where stockholders can say something. Nobody ever does. When the president stood and it was time for open floor, he said, "Are there any open floor discussions?" Anticipating none. And these 3 guys stood up. All the heads turned. The president looks and says, well, yes. And one boy says in a loud voice, "Mr. President, we've been excited about all the profit that Gulf and Western has made." Everybody cheers. But we don't like the way Gulf and Western is doing business in Haiti. People turn. The president said, "Young men, we made a good profit in the country of Haiti last year." "Yes, Mr. President, I know, but I don't like the way we made that profit." And you can see the vice presidents back on the stage, and they're all turning to each other. Who are these guys? Who are these guys? Oh, don't forget, they're what? Stockholders. 1 share each. The president says, "We're going to take a recess. Would you 3 fellows come here?" And now there's some serious football huddling going on. Heads are together. They're wondering what. These guys made their way up to the front. The president came off the stage and says, "Who are you guys?" "We're stockholders." "Why don't you like the way we're doing business? Did you not hear the reports?" "Oh, we heard the reports of profit. But Mr. President, are you aware of? And they began to say, people are starving in Haiti. We're using their land to grow cattle to bring it back to the U.S. We're using their land to grow sugar to feed our diet needs, and we eat too much sugar in the U.S. anyway, and we think that Gulf and Western could make a difference in the country of Haiti. Well, what do you mean make a difference? These kids said, we would like to see Gulf and Western give land back to the people of Haiti. You could still make a profit, but let's help feed hungry people in Haiti with their own land. They need to grow corn and wheat and other crops that will help sustain life. You can see the president scratch his head. You guys are what? Stockholders? Yes, sir, we are. And the Spirit of God moved on the heart of the president of Gulf and Western. Young men, I've been impressed with you. I believe Gulf and Western can give land back to the people of Haiti, and I'm going to make that suggestion. Hand went up from one of the other boys. Mr. President, we think that's most honorable. And these people are going to need equipment. And I know that we own a large farming equipment operation as part of Gulf and Western, and we would like for them to have equipment to plow the fields and to plant. The president said, that too is worthy, and we could do that. Matter of fact, the president said, we'll make low interest loans to the people so they can buy these machines. Hand went up. Mr. President, the people can't afford low interest loans. The president said, then we'll make them no interest loans, 0% interest loans. They can't get a deal like that anywhere else. And the kid said, you are right, and that's a great first start. But with the great report we've heard today of the profit that Gulf and Western is making, we could give. We could donate. And as stockholders, we'd like to suggest that Gulf and Western just give farming equipment to these people. And the president looked and said, you really believe that, don't you? Okay. Gulf and Western will give free farm equipment to the people of Haiti. A hand went up, and the president said, I know. They're going to need help. How to run the equipment, how to repair the equipment, how to keep the equipment in good shape. Is that what you were going to ask? He goes, yeah. He said, we'll supply the personnel too. The president said, I'm afraid to ask you if there's anything else. Mr. President, we would be the proudest stockholders in this auditorium today if you could tell the rest of the stockholders what Gulf and Western wants to do in Haiti. Okay. You guys need to go back to your seats now. The president went to the front of the platform and announced, today, Gulf and Western is changing the way it does business in the country of Haiti. We will probably still have land holdings. We will probably still see a profit. But we're going to begin a new era of how we do business. Because stockholders today have impressed me that we need to change the way we're doing business there. You guys, right here, will prophesy. Tell stories. You will find out who you were meant to be when you give your life to Jesus Christ. Not about you, but about what you do for the one who created you. I think that's what he meant when he said, I've come to give you life and give you life more abundantly. Father God, bless these young people. Oh, they've got lots on their minds, and they should. But cause them to have a still small moment when your Spirit breaks through and touches those chords of the heart and the mind. Remind them that they were created by you to do good works. Watch over them, protect them, and keep them safe. And this week, I pray a hedge of protection about this campus. That your angels might move among us, move around us, keep the attacks of that old enemy away. Discouragement, pain, disappointment, illness, discouragement, relationship challenges at home with one another. Whatever the challenges that come our way, we're going to trust you. Do for us what we can't do for ourselves. We'll give you the honor, the praise, and the glory. And all God's people said, amen.
I think we can all look forward to coming together each night this week to hear more words from God there. If you would like to stay, if you have anything you would like to pray about, just invite you to come up over here if you have any praises or anything to remember in prayer. Other than that, you may head back to your respective dorms and study hard. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.